All right, guys, we are one day away. We've got our first baseball game of the year happening tomorrow morning at like 5:30 in the morning. Come on now. Which one of you diehards are going to set that alarm for like 5 a.m. and watch it live on TV? Brian, I know you'll be up. You're probably out working already, so you could probably stream that on your phone. Anyhow, we got a couple of big deadlines coming up here. First one is tonight at 10 o'clock. The Freebie week is over. We've had some activity, and you still got a little bit of time. If I can get this video up, you have up until 10 o'clock tonight to make trades, add drop players for free. Okay? They don't cost you nothing. They don't even count towards your free agent pickups during a scoring period. So get on there, see if you want to adjust your rosters, and you can do it for free up until 10 o'clock tonight. Now at 10 o'clock, you can still pick up players, you can still offer trades, but I'm going to put in all of the fees. So just real quick, a review. Each ad drop is 50 cents. So every time you make a move with a player, that is 50 cents of real money. It'll be taken out of your account, and eventually that account will go down to zero. And at that point, you can either send me more money via PayPal or be the dreaded locked out. And you don't want to have that happen. Trades are really 50 cents total, but the owners split it. So it really only costs each owner involved in the trade 25 cents. That'll also come out of your bank account. So guys, they're free up until 10 o'clock. At 10 o'clock, I'll put the fees in there. At 10 o'clock, I will also initiate the transaction limit per scoring period. If you don't know that, owners are allowed to pick up a maximum of 5 players or make 5 moves during a scoring period. After that period of time, the moves, you can't make any more moves. Keep in mind, this is a little longer scoring period since we've got like a couple of games over in Japan right now, and then it moves into regular scoring period the end of next week. So it's a little longer, so you might want to pay attention to that. So all of that happens at 10 o'clock tonight. Any freebie week stuff you want to get going on, and you go ahead and do that. Now, the other thing I'd like to talk to you about is this new DL spots that we have on our roster. I just emailed CBS Sports Line to see if players will eventually have an IL or a DL designation by their name when they're actually on the DL. I really think that would be the best way to do it, so that we would know, is the player just injured in day-to-day, or is he actually placed on the DL? If your players or our teams don't get that DL designation, then we're going to have to kind of look and actually see, by clicking on the player, reading some news, is this player actually on the DL? If he's not, if he's got a blister and he's out 3-4 days, but he's not placed on the DL, you can't move him down there just because he's injured and out for a few days. Those 2 spots are for players that are actually on the DL. To be real honest, I think when Brian and I were talking about adding those positions, they're really for players that are going to be out for quite a while. Here's a scenario that you don't want to get into. Let's say, because this year in Major League Baseball, they have like a 10-day DL, which is not very long. And let's say you put a player that is on the 10-day DL down onto the injured list. That opens up a spot on your active roster and your reserves for another player. You can go ahead and pick up a player to fill in that spot. But here's where it gets a little bit tricky. When your player that you move down onto the DL gets healthy, and you're going to have to activate him. You can't have healthy players down there. And so you're going to have to cut somebody, I believe. It might be the player that you picked up. It might be the guy that you put down there. It might be a different player. But you can't have all these extra players on your roster. So if you're moving a player down onto the DL, you can pick up a guy, I believe. But when you take that player off the DL because he's become active, and you got to do that because you can't just hide players in your DL spots, then you're going to have to make a corresponding move because your active roster would have too many players on it. So we are really going to have to just kind of see how that works out. I really hope it's not as cumbersome as it seems like it might be. I hope once the season gets going and people start to utilize that a little bit, that it's not as complicated and it's not as hard to follow. But we will just have to see. The big thing is you can't hide healthy players down in your injury spots. If they're out for a while, I know there's some players like Didi Gregorius. Didi Gregorius is going to be out a good half of the year. I think Josh owns him. He can put him in the DL spot and sit him there and pick up another player and not have to cut Gregorius. So that's really what it's meant for. So guys, freebie weekends tonight. I'll be trying, just maybe kind of tinker around with the injured slots. For me, to be real honest, how I'm going to handle it, I have Gregory Polanco that might be out a long time. I might use an injury spot for him if he's going to be out till the middle of May. But like if Clayton Kershaw is on the 10D DL and he's going to be back in a week or two, I probably will not use an injury spot on him. That's just my personal opinion. That's how I'm probably going to handle it. So just wanted to make a quick video on that, just simply because I think we're all going to be in the dark really as to how that happens, and we want to make that as fair as possible. So guys, tomorrow morning's opening day. Points count. Our scoring period counts. Good luck to everyone, and we will see you on the chat or on the videos. Talk to you later.